The Sikorsky UH-60 Black Hawk stands as a symbol of modern military might, fulfilling roles far beyond its initial design as a utility helicopter. Its journey began in 1972, when Sikorsky Aircraft submitted a proposal for the U.S. Army's Utility Tactical Transport Aircraft System. The Army was seeking a durable new platform that could excel in hot climates, mountainous terrain, and unpredictable battlefield conditions. Sikorsky's design, which the Army labeled UH-60A, won the contract in 1976 after beating out Boeing's 61 in a head-to-head evaluation. By 1979, the first official Black Hawks entered service, taking their place as the main tactical transport helicopter and eventually replacing the aging Bell UH-1 Iroquois. The early roots. Decades of lessons learned during the Vietnam War played a vital role in shaping requirements for this new helicopter. Commanders in Vietnam had seen firsthand how heat, humidity, and high altitudes taxed the performance of older rotorcraft. They wanted an aircraft that could not only haul heavy loads, but also withstand small arms fire and still limp home if systems failed. As a result, the UH-60's design featured redundancy in crucial areas, including dual engines and multiple backup systems. Its rugged airframe and ballistic-tolerant fuel cells were direct answers to the Army's demand for survivability. Engineers even created run-dry gearboxes, meaning that if gear lubricant were lost, the helicopter could still function for a significant period. The success of the T700 family of engines, developed by General Electric, completed the package by offering more power and better reliability. With 4 prototypes flying by October 1974, Sikorsky's UH-60A quickly showed that the design could meet or exceed the Army's challenging performance goals. These prototypes included structural elements that would later become standard in production versions, such as crash-worthy seating, robust rotor systems, and canted tail rotors. Testing included air transport requirements for the Lockheed C-130 Hercules cargo plane. This demanded that the new helicopter's cabin be slim and low enough to slide into a C-130's cargo bay without time-consuming modifications. The Army officially placed the UH-60A into production after the prototypes proved themselves in multiple evaluations, ushering in a new era of rotary wing capability. Evolving missions. Although it began as a straight troop transport, the Black Hawk soon found itself adapting to new missions. Electronic warfare variants were created to jam and intercept enemy communications. Special operations versions appeared with fast rope rigs, extra fuel tanks, and advanced electronics to make secret night insertions possible. Over time, the Army recognized that the more equipment they added, the heavier the helicopter became, so they introduced incremental updates to keep performance up to par. The UH-60L arrived in the late 1980s, boasting improved engines and a more capable transmission, giving it better lift capacity for external sling loads. By the mid-2000s, the UH-60M followed, introducing a digital cockpit, improved rotor blades, and state-of-the-art navigation tools. One major reason for these frequent upgrades was the demanding nature of real combat scenarios. In places like Grenada, 1983, Panama, 1989, and the Gulf War, 1991, Black Hawks routinely carried troops into hostile territory under threats of enemy fire. They also flew medical evacuations, bringing wounded soldiers to field hospitals. Each encounter led to new insights. Sometimes it meant adding better protective plating, other times it involved new flight control software. By the mid-2000s, the U.S. Army recognized that the design still had decades of service potential if modernized regularly. As new mission sets emerged, like mine laying, search and rescue, or border surveillance, the Black Hawk platform responded with specialized modifications. Notable incidents and visibility. The public became particularly aware of the Black Hawk's role during the U.S. operations in Somalia in 1993. Known as the Battle of Mogadishu, 2 MH-60L helicopters from the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment were shot down, leading to a prolonged and costly rescue operation. That incident brought the helicopter into mainstream news and exemplified both its capabilities and vulnerabilities. Despite the losses, the Black Hawk's performance in numerous other missions carried on, including multiple conflicts in the Balkans and in Haiti throughout the 1990s. The platform's reliability in the skies and adaptability to numerous tasks set it apart from many rotorcraft of the same era. Perhaps the most dramatic Black Hawk mission in modern memory came in May 2011. An elite U.S. Special Operations Unit used a modified stealth version of the UH-60 in the raid that killed Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad, Pakistan. Though details remain classified, enough information emerged to confirm that these Black Hawks used noise reduction measures and radar-evading shapes to fly undetected deep into Pakistani airspace. The tail section, which broke off in the compound's courtyard, revealed an unusual design with extra rotor blades. This event confirmed rumors that stealth helicopters had been in development since at least the 1970s. Much like a top-secret jet, these helicopters apparently featured specialized coatings, angled edges, and advanced technology to reduce their radar and acoustic signatures. Continued innovations. Rather than resting on early success, Sikorsky has consistently refined the UH-60 line. In 2012, the company started work on the Combat Tempered Platform Demonstration (CTPD) program, exploring even more durable materials and smarter systems. Goals included a zero-vibration setup for improved pilot comfort and reliability, advanced flight control laws to automate certain maneuvers, and a more robust main rotor design. The hope was to extend the Black Hawk's operational lifespan until the U.S. Army introduces the Future Vertical Lift (FVL) aircraft, which might someday replace or supplement the UH-60. One creative solution for logistics challenges came with the enhanced speed bag system introduced around 2014. Dropping resupply bundles from a hovering Black Hawk at fairly high altitudes used to damage or lose much of the cargo. The new system allowed these bundles to descend more gently, preserving vital supplies like medical gear or food. By letting the helicopter maintain a safer altitude of about 100 feet instead of 10, it reduced vulnerability to small arms fire. Innovations like these reflect the Black Hawk's ongoing evolution, showing that even decades after its debut, this helicopter remains a key resource across a wide range of missions. Design basics. Central to the Black Hawk's success is its robust physical design. The fuselage is relatively long and low to fit inside a cargo plane if needed. Its four-blade main rotor uses elastomeric bearings rather than traditional hinges, which cut down on maintenance. The canted tail rotor adds extra lift and stability. Two General Electric T700 turboshaft engines power the Black Hawk, ensuring that even if one engine fails, the other can keep the helicopter airborne long enough to land safely. Internally, it can carry around 11 troops with their equipment or serve as a medevac platform with up to 6 stretchers. Externally, the UH-60 can sling load about 9,000 pounds of cargo on later models like the UH-60L and UH-60M. In air assault operations, the Black Hawk can haul a 105mm howitzer with ammunition and a 4-person crew in a single lift, an impressive feat for a medium-lift helicopter. Cockpit avionics range from basic analog gauges in older models to fully digital glass cockpits in newer variants, including moving maps, advanced GPS, and threat detection systems. Adding stub wings known as the External Stores Support System (ESSS) allows the helicopter to carry extra fuel tanks, rocket pods, or missile launchers. This modular approach ensures that a Black Hawk can transform from a simple troop transport into a forward attack or medical rescue machine with relatively minor adjustments. Production costs and exports. Costs vary widely among different branches of the U.S. military and international buyers. A standard UH-60L once tallied around $5.9 million, while more specialized versions, like the Air Force HH-60G Pavehawk, reached about $10.2 million per unit. Because the design is so flexible, partner nations often select unique configurations that drive costs up or down depending on local requirements. The UH-60 is in service with at least 35 countries as of 2024. Many nations produce it under license, like Japan's Mitsubishi Heavy Industries or Turkey's Turkish Aerospace Industries. Others buy them directly from Sikorsky or through government channels like the U.S. Foreign Military Sales Program. The Black Hawk has seen action far from American borders. Australia bought early models in the 1980s and put them to work in tough environments like East Timor and Papua New Guinea. Israel, for its part, calls its UH-60s Yanshuf, or Owl, and first used them in combat in 1996 over southern Lebanon. Colombia, after receiving its first Black Hawks in 1987, relies heavily on them to combat drug trafficking and insurgent groups in regions that are hard to reach by road. In each new environment, the helicopter has proven that it can adapt, whether flying through arid deserts or dense jungles. Specialized variants. The Black Hawk family includes more than just the standard utility transport. The Navy's SH-60 Seahawk tailors the basic airframe for maritime missions, featuring specialized anti-submarine warfare gear and folding rotors for shipboard storage. The Air Force's HH-60 Pavehawk has extended range capability, a refueling probe, and specialized avionics for combat search and rescue. The Coast Guard's MH-60 Jayhawk, meanwhile, is adapted for maritime search and rescue, sporting a larger fuel capacity and search radar. Even outside the military, Sikorsky offers a civilian S-70 for firefighting, law enforcement, and other public service roles. Some operators field local modifications. Colombia's Aerospace Force runs an ARPIA gunship version with stub wings for armaments, while other militaries incorporate advanced sensors or weapon systems to meet their specific needs. The Royal Brunei Air Force, for example, uses S-70I versions for utility and transport, with advanced cockpit features and extra reliability measures. The U.S. Army's 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, dubbed the Night Stalkers, has an entire lineup of MH-60 derivatives equipped with cutting-edge stealth and navigation systems. Technical upgrades over time. One of the most notable leaps forward came with the UH-60L model in 1989. This upgrade introduced the T700GE 701C engine, borrowed from the Navy's SH-60B Seahawk, and a strengthened gearbox. Combined, they offered about 1,000 more pounds of lift capacity, bringing the external sling load limit to 9,000 pounds. The Army integrated an improved flight control system from the SH-60B to handle that extra power, making the L model more stable and more versatile. In 2006, the Army began fielding the UH-60M, featuring T700GE 701D engines, new composite rotor blades, and an upgraded glass cockpit for better situational awareness. Quietly lurking in the shadows, an even more secretive version emerged, at least in rumor. The so-called Stealth Black Hawk made headlines after the Bin Laden raid. Observers concluded that changes included special shaping of the tail boom, radar-absorbing materials, low-noise tail rotors, and other hush-hush modifications. While not officially acknowledged in detail by the U.S. government, the wreckage glimpsed in pictures hinted at a quantum leap in rotorcraft stealth technology. Combat-tempered platform demonstration. Sikorsky's continuing drive to enhance durability and survivability led to the 2012 Combat-Tempered Platform demonstration. This program aimed to incorporate futuristic materials that could handle significant damage in battle. It also sought to reduce vibrations to extend the lifespan of the helicopter's components and potentially reduce pilot fatigue. Experts expect many of these innovations will migrate into newer production lines or retrofit kits, ensuring the Black Hawk remains formidable even as the Army edges toward its future vertical lift initiative in the next decade. Global perspectives and operators. Beyond the United States, the Black Hawk has touched nearly every continent. Many countries depend on it for humanitarian work, disaster relief, firefighting, border patrol, and anti-smuggling missions. Mexico has used UH-60s to deploy special forces against drug cartels, while the Philippine Air Force has steadily built a fleet of S-70I aircraft for rescue, transport, and national defense roles. Poland's special forces took delivery of a small number of S-70I variants, with negotiations underway for even more. When natural disasters strike, Black Hawks can rapidly deliver supplies, rescue stranded citizens, and provide medevac services. Their combination of decent range, significant payload, and robust design makes them ideal for emergency responses in floods, earthquakes, and storms. Over its lifetime, the UH-60 has seen so many emergencies, conflicts, and specialized missions that it has become a near-universal emblem of modern rotor wing versatility. Notable accidents and safety measures. No aircraft is immune to incidents, and the Black Hawk has had its share. High-powered broadcast towers once posed an unexpected hazard when electromagnetic emissions disrupted the helicopter's flight control systems in the 1980s. This issue forced the Army to develop shielding solutions for future production. High-profile losses occurred during training or combat, prompting further modifications to bolster safety. Despite these incidents, the UH-60's overall track record remains strong, partly due to constant updates and lessons learned from each mishap. Australia, for instance, experienced accidents in which multiple personnel lost their lives. Investigations spurred changes in pilot training and night flight procedures. The U.S. Army similarly updated guidelines after reviewing events like the Black Hawk shootdowns by friendly F-15 fighter jets over northern Iraq in 1994. In that tragedy, 2 Black Hawks were mistaken for enemy helicopters, resulting in the deaths of 26 service members. While that event did not point directly to an issue with the helicopter itself, it underscored the complexities of modern warfare and the need for robust identification processes. Future vertical lift. As advanced as the Black Hawk is, the U.S. Army launched the Future Vertical Lift program to develop a new generation of helicopters or tiltrotors that can fly faster and farther. Sikorsky, teaming up with Boeing, proposed the Defiant X, while Bell created its V-280 Valor tiltrotor. In late 2022, Bell's platform secured an initial contract to move forward. That said, the Army's official adoption of any platform will likely span many years. Because the Black Hawk is so entrenched, it may remain in service alongside newer aircraft for a significant time. Ongoing upgrades, strong logistical support, and wide user familiarity contribute to its long-term viability. The Black Hawk's enduring reputation. From hot landing zones in Iraq to the snowy mountains of Afghanistan, the UH-60 has proven itself as a trusted steed. Commanders praise its adaptability, pilots appreciate its power and user-friendly controls. Mechanics find that spare parts and standardized components, while sometimes expensive, are widely available through well-established supply chains. Generations of crew members have flown in or operated these helicopters, forming an extensive knowledge base that ensures each new pilot learns from decades of operational wisdom. As the flight hour tallies climb higher, the fundamental design continues to demonstrate resilience. Advanced technology might eventually overshadow certain aspects of the Black Hawk, but it is unlikely to vanish entirely from the skies anytime soon. Instead, it will continue to serve in roles such as firefighting support, Coast Guard patrol, or specialized operations for many countries that prefer a proven, battle-tested machine. In many ways, the Sikorsky UH-60 Black Hawk represents the epitome of modern rotorcraft engineering. It stands on the shoulders of hard-won lessons from earlier conflicts, leverages the power of robust engines and advanced avionics, and offers the versatility to transform rapidly for new missions. Whether lifting artillery into remote combat zones, dropping supplies over disaster-stricken areas, or ferrying special forces into volatile territory, it continues to be an indispensable asset. With improvements and variants still rolling off production lines, the Black Hawk's legacy remains very much alive, proving that an expertly crafted design can endure, adapt, and thrive for generations.